Hey everyone, so in today's video, I'm going to go over my personal wish list for the Halo Infinite campaign. In my last video, I went over my wish list for Halo Infinite's multiplayer and what I think can help it succeed, so if you haven't, feel free to check that out as well. And if you enjoy this video, consider liking and subbing to the channel. Any and all support is very much appreciated. The campaign for Infinite has been hyped up for a while now, and after Halo 5's lukewarm, confusing, messy campaign, us as the Halo community deserve a well-written and meaningful story. If done right, Infinite could have one of the most engaging and complex stories out of all the Halos. And in this video, I'm going to go over what I think the Halo Infinite campaign needs to succeed. Let's talk about the open world. Halo Infinite will be the first Halo game to feature an open world for its campaign. This can both be very good and very bad for Halo. If done right, this could be like a Breath of the Wild situation where it will be hailed as one of the best games of all time, but if done wrong could spell disaster for the Halo franchise as a whole. Halo Infinite's open world has to hit all the nails on the head, and especially with a ring of story to Zeta, include everything lore-wise as well. To elaborate, Infinite has shown us some wildlife that resides on the ring, and I hope to see Marines along with Chief interacting or at least acknowledging the wildlife's existence. Giving the wildlife a realistic loop where you can see them feed or drink, maybe fight with one another, will for sure help sell the idea of Zeta Halo being a living, breathing world. Having rewarding content around the ring is a must. Rewarding players for completing challenging objectives or finding secrets within the open world promotes exploration. If the ring is bare bones with little to do, then what was the point of an open world? I'm curious to see if 343 will add a bounty system or a quest system to Infinite similar to Destiny where you complete specific tasks or objectives and you reward with XP or weapons and armor. Speaking of weapons, the sandbox needs to be diverse and make the player feel powerful. As we saw with the demo, clearly picking up weapons from drops and from defeating enemies will probably be the main way we as the players collect new weapons. I think implementing some sort of system where defeating X amount of enemies with a specific weapon grants a unique skin or modification to that specific weapon. I'm really treating Infinite kinda like Halo RPG at this point, so I want to assume we'll have some sort of skill tree or meaningful reward system. This can include unique weapons with mods already on them, different skins, scopes, I mean the list can go on and on. This can incentivize players to really grind, and ultimately that's what I think Infinite campaign will probably end up being, a grind fest. But in saying that, that's not a bad thing. Games such as Destiny and Borderlands have seen great success over multiple games, and I think for replayability, Halo can also adapt some things from both of those games. Looking back through the original trilogy, Halo 1, 2, and 3, something always stood out to me, and that was enemy diversity. Something Halo did incredibly well was when certain enemy types became stagnant and uneventful, too common, a new enemy was introduced. Halo 2 I think did this the best. You had your main covenant like elites, hunters, jackals, grunts, and bug boys. Then I think the perfect moment in the story, the Flood, are reintroduced. And once they become pretty common and stagnant, brutes are then implemented, which are the most aggressive enemy type we've ever seen in a Halo game before, and it kept things fresh. Infinite has a lot of potential with the Banished, because not only is it brutes, but it can contain elites and even humans that have defected. An enemy type that 1000% needs to return is the Flood, without question. Zeta Halo is probably most famous for its Flood involvement, so if the Flood for some reason aren't in Infinite, it's a failure. Complete, utter failure. In every game the Flood have appeared, they disrupt everything about the story we knew, and ultimately make humans and elites become allies, which, in Halo 1 especially, you have never thought would happen. The thing about the Flood is not only do they introduce a horror aspect to the Halo games, they're also unpredictable. Grunts, for example, will 99% of the time flee if you kill their elite. Brutes berserk if they're the last one alive, but Flood can do anything. Some are hyper aggressive, some may have rockets, some might just chill and wait back to strike you by surprise. I really hope a big part of the campaign is we as the player get to see a Flood infestation of Zeta Halo progressively as we play. What I mean is maybe after a few missions or quests or whatever we'll be doing, maybe some wildlife is infected or a base we previously destroyed is slowly getting taken over. I want the flow reveal to be a surprise to players, maybe even happen during a night section to really ramp up the horror. Assuming that Halo Infinite won't have a choice for difficulty since, open world games usually don't, I think implementing adaptive difficulty similar to the Resident Evil series could be a cool way to scale. If you don't know what adaptive difficulty is, essentially if you're taking no damage and steamrolling through the game will ramp up the difficulty progressively, which will include more enemies, some enemies are more aggressive, and so forth. If done right, this could make Halo Infinite a blast to play. If you're getting bodied, adaptive difficulty will adjust accordingly, so either removing some enemies or reducing the ranks of certain enemies so they're easier to kill, etc. And finally, something I touched on earlier in the video, collectibles or rewarding content. Bring back skulls to Halo and let us find them around Zeta Halo. Bring back the little dolls from Halo 2 Anniversary, audio files from ODST to build on the lore of the ring, Forerunner artifacts that may play a little video or audio clip showing the past on Zeta Halo. I mean, the potential for collectibles is limitless, and as I said, it promotes exploration of 343's open world, which, if I'm a dev, I want players to see every inch of work I did. I really feel that microtransactions will find its way into Halo Infinite's multiplayer, being free and all, but allow players to unlock special armor or skins for collecting story mode rewards such as the skulls, audio files, etc. Let players flex their dedication to finding everything on Zeta Halo. Well, with all that said, I can't lie. I'm very excited for Halo Infinite. Let's all pray 343 doesn't go the Halo 5 route and give us probably one of the jankiest, messiest campaigns in a Halo game again, and really delivers on what I've said multiple times is Halo's real final chance to become the giant it once was. If you have any thoughts on what you'd like to see in Halo Infinite's campaign, feel free to comment down below. And with all that said, I'll see you in the next video.